Welcome everybody to the Town of Richmond Water and Sewer Commission
Meeting.
My fault. No, it's me. I'm almost sure of it. Okay.
July 14th, 2025. Do we have, let me get down here, any public comments? No public comments. Do we have any deletions, additions, or modifications to the agenda? Changes. Next up, items for presentation or discussion with those present. First is review of waterline replacement project, which will replace approximately 3,695 linear feet of
But
water.
who's counting?
That's right, plus or minus. Along Tilden Avenue, portions of Cochran, and along a portion of Bridge Street. Including, summary of project.
I think we'll turn that over.
Yeah, we should
Do you
imagine.
have anything you want to?
Yeah, I'll share that.
Yeah, if you could pop the screen, I can give you a quick. I'm Tyler Billingsley with East Engineering, helping you guys out with the engineering side of this project. So like you said, it's a replacement of existing water main. Some of it is 1950s era cast iron. Some of it's AC pipe. We'll probably have some other stuff we find that we don't know yet. But the gist of it is replacing what's there. All new water main, new services to the right of way, new hydrants, and then putting everything back together, turning off the old main. So it's some of the last few sections of old main that are left in town. This isn't the end of it, but it's the last couple big sections that are, kind of ticking time bombs for you guys, 60, 70 years old. So we can walk through the plans quickly without going into the nitty-gritty details unless you guys have specific questions. Tilden Avenue is kind of first up, and that runs from the west side of Tilden all the way east side, the whole way up through the walking path up to Jericho Road. It's kind of a loop in there. And it's a tight village street. It's a narrow town right of way. It's an 8-inch PVC, just follows town spec. So 8-inch PVC main, running as best I could weave in and out of the existing utilities, that we know of. And trying to tie in that section of Main. Bridge Street is from the bridge south. So I think you guys did a project maybe 4 or 5 years ago that was the north side of Bridge Street. This is basically the continuation on the south side of Bridge Street, to the intersection of Cochran, Thompson, and Huntington Road. And then it turns the corner on Cochran and goes, there's a section of Cochran's that needs to be replaced. There was a section of new Cochran's done not that long ago that's being left in place. And then we pick up again near the end of where you guys serve with another old section of pipe, kind of stops near the cemetery. Just for geographic reference. Just before, the last house before the cemetery is the last service on there. You can flip through, Josh, if you want to, zoom out a little bit. So this is Tilden. Here's the very end of Tilden. Each service is going to be tied in and upsized if needed. Just like your previous projects, you guys basically own the main, you own the service to the shut off, the curb stop, and then it stops at or near that town right of way line, and it continues private service to their house, into their meter, into their to serve their home or apartments. So it runs down it kind of, like I said, zigzags a little bit. I start on one side. I'm trying to keep separation from storm sewer, existing main, and sanitary. So I kind of have to zigzag a little bit just to kind of catch all of our separations. We do have overhead utility there too, which can be kind of pesky to dig in front of. It also parallels Vermont Gas, which is also serving that neighborhood. So it runs down south side of the road. Josh can kind of keep going to the right, over toward Baker. And Baker, I believe, is where it zigzags back. Kind of right at this intersection in front of the Witter's house. And then it kind of stays middle of the road going over toward the bike path. Goes around that small stream drainage area next sheet, Josh. Around that small, it's kind of a stream or storm drain
Swale.
inlet swale. It's for like 10 different names for it. This is where it kind of bumps out and around Pete's stormwater inlet right here. This is the storm drain that goes all the way down over below Main Street, below the railroad tracks, through the lumber yard next to Richmond Rescue. Then here's where it continues on the path up to Jericho Road, and there it gets a little more benign, less crazy amount of utilities. It kind of follows that curve up to Jericho Road. There's a hydrant there now, and there was that new section coming down from the tank is what we're going to tie right into right on the side of the road. So that's Tilden in a nutshell. You can go to the next sheet, Josh. Let me zoom out just a touch. Next one is Bridge Street. You guys actually have twin water mains on Bridge Street right now, a 4-inch and an 8-inch. One was the old fire suppression line from way back that's still in service, and then they added the 8-inch but never took out the 4-inch. So you have twin services right now. We're replacing it with 112. So we're getting rid of the 4 and the 12, 4 and the 8, replacing with the 12. Starts in the Bresser household, new hydrant, and then runs up to the corner, the four corner there. Ties in, there's a 4-inch main service to the round barn, which ties in for their fire suppression system. Which is
The round
here.
church.
Round church. Barn.
Round church. Which is ties in there. We've got valves along the way for shutoffs for Steve or whoever, whenever they need to do a shut off if they need to or break. Got valves spaced out decently. Stop right here, Josh. Here's an example. A lot of these old services were put, town right away is here, this kind of like bluish cyan line. A lot of the old service shutoffs are actually on the other side on private property, which is pretty normal. The state with their funding program now wants to see written recorded easements to replace any service that was at or beyond your right of way. So with all of these services, either like into private property or right on the edge, I think there's 33 or 35 different easements, and they're all these kind of smaller, just basically deep enough to dig a hole, replace a service, put it back together. So they're all 10 by 10 or 10 by whatever the strip is we needed to get there. And you'll see this kind of zigzag easement as you look through the sheets on every parcel that it goes outside of. I think there's a couple that are inside of the town right away. This is a good example right here. Roads here, shut off is there, and the right of way is there. So we're 4 or 5 feet inside of that line, easement not needed. We're able to dig a hole, replace the service, splice it back in without needing a private easement. But the rest of them, or a lot of them, do kind of spill out into private property. So Josh has pinged your town attorney. They're a bit backed up, it sounds like, but they are working through easements for
No, I think we actually have easements for every.
all of them.
Except for Morgan's, that was the typo address.
Typo, okay.
But no,
Melissa's.
what's that?
Melissa.
Oh, sorry, Melissa's, yes.
I get to live there.
Yeah. So, but I expect to have that one shortly, because he's got them all.
Okay. So before we go out to bid, all the easements need to be locked and loaded, and there's a town attorney certificate that needs to be signed off showing that easements have been signed by all parties. We were hoping to do this project last year, then we're hoping to do a project this year, and now we're hoping to do the project next year. The state has taken their
No, we are gonna do it next year.
hopefully. The state through the DWSR process has been
Dragging their feet.
dragging a bit. So I think we're finally there. We got it so late this year that it was, we thought about trying to rush it in this year, and rush projects always go like rush projects do. So we decided to push it to next year, let the dust settle in the easements, get everything lined up, get a good bid season, get good numbers, and then get up someone under contract this fall or early winter, start in the spring.
And
Um,
and part of why Bridge Street on the south side looks so terrible is because Pete's been holding off for this project to get done. There was no way he wanted to put new pavement over the street and then have me come through and rip it up.
Right. So we talked to Pete,
Yeah.
last time we met a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, and Pete's on board, so we'll have to kind of pothole patch it again, if needed, and then once the final trench goes in there, you can kind of do more of a full overhaul on paving, upgrading it. You keep going, Josh, up to the corner. There's the corner. That will be kind of a messy interchange with as much traffic as it gets. Basically putting valves going up Huntington Road, down Thompson Road toward the town garage, and then splintering off, going down Cochran Road to the east. We basically chase the existing water main, and it, like I said, it kind of goes to two distinct sections. First one's from the intersection. I can't remember what it is, maybe 500 feet down. There's a gap, and then there's another section to tie it out to the end. There is quite a bit of ledge in that section, so there will be some hacking and hammering to get that depth to water main appropriate. So it will be loud and likely a slow install through that rocky knob section that's a couple hundred feet from the intersection.
How deep do you go from if you're in ledge?
If you're in ledge, usually about 5, some blue board. You know, if it's a little tiny hump that's just pecking really hard and it's a short section that you can go kind of up and around. It's not too close to the end, maybe a little bit shallower, but you start getting into the, you know, upper 3s and 4s and it's kind of asking for trouble.
It is very shallow right through there.
Yeah.
By whose house?
Well, just up from,
Just beyond you guys still own the
Yeah.
cabin up there?
No,
Just
I know what you mean.
the cabin goes up into the woods
Yeah.
there. There's that rock knob that really comes kind of almost juts out to the road.
right in that area.
Yeah,
Jeff Urbanic,
Urbanic.
Between Urbanic's house and the cabin.
Yeah.
In Tilden, yeah.
You can keep scrolling, Josh, to the right. So go next sheet. There is a force main there, sewer force main. We're on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah.
Another page down.
Yeah, next page down. This is the section we're leaving. And then looks like we end basically at 366.
sounds right.
Or whatever's one past 366. So it basically chases the, you know, kind of that, what would be the southbound lane or south side lane of Cochran Road, just to the end.
Great.
Are there any questions on the 3 kind of road segments?
So the depth of cover is, goal is 5 feet, or is it actually deeper?
I think it's a bit deeper. I think it's 5.5 or 6. But in
5.5 where the ledge is, or 5.
yeah, 5.5, depending if it's a little tiny seam, you know, we can do a little bit of extra blue board. We'll usually include a unit price if we do have a shallow spot, or sometimes you got to go up a sewer, storm drain, where you've got to get a little tiny section that's not quite to that depth. We'll box it out in blue board. It can gain you, you know, a foot maybe, but it's not going to gain you. If you blue board something at 2 feet deep, it's still going to freeze. So we use it kind of at my discretion as we're going along and what we're hammering out. And use it as we need it.
It's my understanding the Cochran Road has froze in the past and currently the 2 end houses leave their water running all winter.
Oh,
Interesting.
It's not a high usage. I mean, some
Yep.
stuff really tends to not freeze, even if it's under pavement, that's getting a lot of flow. This is kind of, you know, light residential, rural residential that's, you know, it's really not pushing and turning over that 8-inch main too fast. So it's really kind of slower moving water or set up overnight. So it's not getting the flow that Bridge Street is, that kind of constantly keeping
Yeah.
itself warm almost.
Yeah.
So the line going down Tilden, that will be installed on the south side of the street, across from Melissa's house. So where the same side as in Melissa's house. Across the street.
Up until Baker,
And it crosses.
and then
Baker is where I zigzag.
and Baker is zigzags back up.
Well, and that's not entirely true. The very, very west side of Tilden, I am kind of on the north side a little bit. And then right in front of 202, between 202 and 209, I'm kind of zigzagging to the south, and then I run that south part of the Tilden a couple feet off the edge of paved shoulder up until Baker, where I, again, and it's nice to run in a straight line, but there's just too many things. You're 202? Okay. So 202, Josh, can you go back to, go to the west of it?
Where it jogs back across.
203.
Right there.
Right there.
So you guys are 202 right here. Your curb stop was surveyed in right about there, which is, it's maybe 8 or 10 feet off the town road right away. So we would be putting a 45-degree bend.
Just trying to zoom in so you can see it.
Challenging.
Yeah.
So we put a 45-degree bend basically right in front of you guys, zigzag across gas. Another 45-degree bend to kind of run that bottom part of the lane there. So right in front of you guys would be.
Okay, so then across the street.
Yeah.
Pretty much right in front of you.
Traffic will be open to Tilden the whole time, one lane, flaggers. It'll be noisy. This
I'm
is
retired, I
construction.
don't care.
What's that?
I'm retired. I don't
Okay.
It will be daytime, right?
Daytime
Yeah.
work. Right now we've got no scheduled nighttime work.
Why don't we talk,
Plus, we have.
since we're zoomed in on one of the folks that's here. Do you want to start maybe talking what we need for easements and use the Vinos and the Bressers as examples?
Yeah, well, let's go right here because we're at 202. So, the water main itself is within the town road right away. Your shut off, which is that CS curb stop right there, is on your property, not on town property.
Mhm.
So right when we cross this kind of teal cyan line right here, they're gonna have to dig a small trench for your new water service toward your house.
Yeah.
So they're gonna dig on your property to here, replace that old shut off with a new shut off.
Mhm.
And then tie into your existing service, which runs up to your house.
Okay.
You guys are in charge of basically everything downstream of the curb stop. So the leftover service piping from Steve's shut off
Yeah.
to your house is owned and maintained by you guys.
Okay, so when that all comes apart, then I'll need to either have someone in there to replace it or evaluate the quality of.
Yeah, so they're gonna come off the curb stop and they'll use a coupling off the new service piping that they own to yours. You guys will have the option, we don't have a contractor yet, but when you do have a contractor, you guys are welcome to reach out to that contractor at your cost.
Yeah.
To upgrade your line to your house, or if you have your own contractor, certainly you can bring your own contractor at any time and do that work also.
Okay,
At some point, there was an evaluation of what those lines, right?
The
Yeah.
service line inventory.
Yep, Steve can probably talk to that. right?
Yep. Almost all of the lines in town are K copper. There are a few left. And that's what I was gonna ask you about. How far up Huntington Road are we going?
None.
None.
Well, I mean, the four-way intersection, and then we have maybe, I don't know, 10 feet of pipe, just enough to tie on to the existing main there. We asked if we could add that in, this is years ago, when this started, if we could add that section in going to Stone Corral. And the answer was no, I believe. You have to add it as a separate project to be
Okay.
part of this.
Well, that's the section with the worst. That's the section, there's one galvanized service left in this town, and that's on that section.
On, to serving the Stone Corral building.
No, it serves one of the houses
Okay.
across the road.
I mean, it's not to say we couldn't have the contractor at your own expense. If
Yeah.
You're already there digging, walk 50 yards down
Yeah.
the road and swap out a service.
But for the
but-
most part, up on Tilden, most of the services are copper.
Mhm.
I don't think, there might be one up towards the end of Baker that is actually PVC. But, my remembrance is, about 99% of them are K copper.
okay, so when the digging starts and then go to the shut off. And then just on our side of it, is there something that maybe I could get some advice, evaluation on?
Yeah, I mean, we'll look at them. I mean,
Just advice as to whether you feel like
it
it's.
needs to be replaced at that time.
Right, if it's
Yeah.
gonna hold up or if it should be
Yeah.
replaced.
Yeah.
Is
The
it-
copper is one of the acceptable service lines, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of I mean, it is what the town requires.
It's the
I
town
mean,
spec.
Okay.
it's what we spec out. It has been the reliable, and K copper is, it's soft copper so that you can use compression fittings. It's not soldered anymore. And yeah. So,
So they come out of that with a short splice piece basically onto the copper you have there. put a coupling, and that's how we can hook up your house. So there will be short-term shutdowns. They basically usually build the main, build all the stems for the services off, test everything out, both for pressure and bacteria. All that passes, then they tie you in.
Then you cut over.
Right, so everything gets built and tested first, then the tie-ins happen. Doesn't happen as they go.
Does anybody know if there's been issues, corrosion issues, between galvanized and copper piping? You know, where you have
Galvanized and copper,
yeah, you have dissimilar metals.
causing
causing-
corrosion.
Yeah.
I don't know about copper and galvanized direct.
I mean. Why are,
Well, I've seen copper pipe with pinholes in it before.
yeah, the K copper is a really thick walled, relatively decent pipe in general. I mean, that's why the town went to using it for service line.
Huh?
If you come out, you can hear it.
There we go. Thank you, Ian. And that's the only reason I asked is, and the reason the pipe I just mentioned was the soil was very acidic. And so it was electrolyzing the copper pipe.
And you guys do have some areas of hot
We
soils
do.
in town.
Yep.
That was part of the downfall of a lot of the galvanized services. A lot of stuff we pulled out from that had, and still pulling out, you could see pinholes, big pits.
Okay.
The hot soils just
I
ate
mean,
it to pieces.
when Thompson Road was done, all the service saddles on that line were put in with just regular galvanized. And they all started to fail. And we had to go back in and change them all. They're all been changed to stainless now.
Oh,
And then that's been set up as this pretty much what the saddle should be, is stainless.
But I just mentioned it as
Good question.
No.
when you're thinking about your pipe is, you know, could there be issues, you know?
Right, and you know, if it is copper.
That's-
I mean, a year ago, we had to change the main coming into the treatment plant.
Yeah.
It was 2-inch copper
Mhm.
and it had a split in it. It was about 30,000 gallons of water a day going out of it. So, I mean, those things, you know, I mean, we looked at the pipe and we changed it all the way back to the main. Versus splicing it or doing anything with it.
We wanna go down, look at the dressers?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'd be like the third sheet from the beginning.
Which you have.
It's up at.
Is that it? I think this is the first Bridge Street, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think for the most part, it looks like we're off of that. Were they on, you guys were on the list?
Well, they own more than one property.
Yeah. so-
Oh, so
They
maybe it's
own
not- maybe
property
it's
on
not
the
in
corner.
front of your house then.
Yeah, I think I've got. The address, was the address? No, you see here.
401's a house, 552 is a duplex.
Yeah,
I think I've got the addresses here, 1 second. Okay, so we've got. Dresser 552, Bridge Street.
On the corner, last house on Bridge Street.
Okay, so down, oh, is that where you were doing the earth moving recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's down here.
Oh, there we go. That makes a lot more sense. So there's the corner, there's 552.
You just covered it up.
I know, hold on a second. Trying to get there. I just messed it up. I was trying to get the better look and there
There we go. So
okay.
there's 552. This is the corner going to Huntington, Thompson, Cochran. Your existing curb stop we're showing is, you know, probably 2 feet off the town right away. So obviously a little bit of room to pothole out and dig up that. So this is a good example. A lot of them are just 10 by 10 easements basically centered up roughly on that curb stop so they can get in there, have a little bit of elbow room to dig down.
Alright, so. That's one of the reasons I wanted to come tonight, so. We're planning on doing some developing on that corner, we don't really have a plan yet, but as part of this. We wanna bring a water main big enough to do whatever we may wanna do off the pike. As part of the construction, whether that's a 4-inch line or bigger, so. I mean, how do we coordinate that we're not having to dig up your line as soon as you put it?
So how many houses are you looking to put on that, or how many
We don't have a number, you know.
you don't?
I keep drawing up plans, I have probably 15 plans with different houses.
What's
on
the
it.
range?
What's the maximum it's zoned
The
for?
maximum zoning is 20 units on that.
20 units.
20 units?
Yeah. So you'd probably want to make it, I would imagine a 20 unit and a 10 unit is probably similar size
At
pipe,
20
right?
units, it would have to be an apartment style building.
Hey, what?
It would have to be an apartment style building.
Maybe, yeah, maybe no. There's
Trying
a
to
lot of different ways to
envision that
design things
corner
that
lot.
fit zoning.
Right.
Yeah. It just
You don't
seemed,
wanna get locked into something.
No, I understand that, and you're asking to make it easier
yeah,
by putting a T and a stub in for you at this point, which I like the idea of being able.
I'm sure Pete likes the idea, not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not
nothing,
to Peter
we
back,
have,
you
I'll have to look at the bid tab, the way it's set up. We're not to bid yet, but I mean, the bid tab, the way it's usually set up is. I break it down between water mains, of different sizes, services of different sizes, all those different things. So depending on what you guys came up with, we could use one of those. Bid items, whether it's a 2-inch service or a 4-inch service or whatever,
Yeah.
to just. Punch to the edge where your existing curb stop is now, so.
So,
if you
Well,
guys have a plan.
I don't know if you'd want it where the curb stop is. You're asking for a little closer to the corner.
what depends on the plan and where, I mean, the access permit change that I've gotten from the town is that Pete doesn't want me to, wants me to get rid of that curb cut where
Right,
kind of in front of the house.
yeah,
So we have to kind of come in that shared curb cut that goes back to that house that sits back and kind of do 290s to get on the property and whether it makes sense to put the new water line along that
Okay.
road, but not the swing part, but to go straight off the road. So it could be back.
So you
you know.
would definitely come off of Bridge Street with the resident, the access.
Yeah.
Off of Bridge Street.
Yeah, because the bike distances,
Okay,
there's
I
not,
can't do anything closer from Huntington Road or from.
right, there's not site clearance on that corner.
oh,
Right.
I'm sure, yeah. I guess. Once you guys have something drawn up that you like, I can take a look at it.
Okay.
I mean, eventually this section will have to be upgraded too. I'm not sure how far out.
What
your-
section?
The section between,
Huntington,
basically, yeah, going down Huntington Road. I think that's the last section of.
But whatever we do is gonna come off Bridge Street water line. We're not
Okay.
gonna, cause we can't get any other access points, so we,
Well, I'm saying your water could come off of Huntington, your vehicles could come off Bridge Street. They don't need to be. Together
that's true.
necessarily.
That's true, but
certainly
I
could.
would like to not, you know, if it's gonna be another 20 years, I'd like to tie into a good line
Mhm.
that we're not gonna have to dig up again.
Mhm.
Okay, so I should work
Put-
with you or? Steve?
put some plan together and then get them to us,
Cause you'd have to submit for a town, what do you call it? The.
yeah,
Water-
allocation.
Water service allocate, thank you, water service allocation, anyway, so in that allocation, you'd ask for, 2,000 gallons a day or 20,000 gallons a day or whatever, and we can size it off of. I can size the service off of whatever you're applying for,
Okay,
I mean, it sounds like it'd either be a 2-inch or a 4-inch.
okay.
That's
So
what-
would be a valve in the street?
Yeah.
For that?
Well, there'd be a T, and then,
You'd want a valve off the T,
Yeah.
so there's no dead area, right?
you're right,
So would you run that like all the way to their property so that,
You'd run it just like a curb stop. You'd
Right,
run-
you would-
Yeah.
And you'd have, instead of a curb stop, a little quarter turn
you have the,
ball valve. you have a
You'd want
4-inch
that
valve.
on the town side.
Usually it's put, similar to this, you put it, basically put it
Yeah.
right on the edge. Within a couple of feet, so that
Okay.
they would own to that 4-inch,
Right.
call it a 4-inch for argument's sake, they would own to that 4-inch gate valve. You guys would own the line beyond that to whatever, the apartments or houses or whatever you have decided to put there.
so would you put in two for right now, like the existing, what is it a 1 inch usually that goes out?
Three quarters.
Three-quarter
And then
size.
you put the 3/4 in for current service, and then you would run that other one basically to the edge of the right of way with a 4 inch and just abandon it or leave it in place so that when he wants to change over, then you don't have to dig up the road again.
We'd probably do something like that.
Okay.
But that's
Depending
a fair,
how
I
it's-
think I had to put that in just a few years ago.
The 3/4,
Yeah,
okay,
because we had to dig across Bridge Street to get it in.
okay.
Do you know off the top of your head where the threshold is, like usage wise, where you have to go from 3/4 to 4 inch? 4 to 2 inch or,
Not off the top of my head, no, I mean, 2 inch service can handle quite a bit of flow.
yeah,
I mean, it's a lot for a 2 inch service, so to
Mo-
tip into.
so that might be something to talk to with somebody too, is like. How many gallons can a 2 inch do? Cause if that'll do
Yeah,
your, if that does 20 and 10, or,
20, I mean, just,
you'd cover all your bases,
if there was actually 20 units there, 2 inch would make me a little nervous without even doing a calculation.
you'd want 4.
Just shoot from
Yeah.
there, yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
yeah, so
If
the,
it was 10, yeah, 2 inch probably, and that makes me feel about 20 units, 20 apartments or units or houses or whatever.
Mhm.
They can pull some water, so,
Yeah.
and the cost difference going from a 2 inch copper to a 4 inch PVC is, I don't say it's nothing, but it's negligible compared to.
I guess that's what I was getting at, was like, do you put in the bigger one to keep your options open?
yeah, we got 4 inch in the work we've been doing. And
Yeah,
the engineer I had at the time said that that would take up into the 20 units. One 4
I
inch.
think it's 6 inch up there.
No,
It starts 6. And then it goes.
Oh, it starts at 6 off the town side, goes to 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, We're gonna handle a lot.
So,
and that is a fairly short distance, so,
There's good pressure down there.
yeah.
So, once you guys have a plan, I
Okay.
mean, we're like I said, we're not, I think the easements need to get locked down. This is a terrible time to go out to bid, peak season, so I don't think, I mean, bidding wise, nothing would happen until fall,
yeah,
or, late fall, early winter even, so do you guys come up with a plan between now and then, or even after that?
You just have to pick one.
You got 15.
Yeah.
Don't give
No,
up
it wasn't-
much
yeah.
time.
Well,
you gotta choose one.
Yeah. Once you pick a plan, yeah, I guess we can look at it, but it doesn't seem like a big deal. It's pretty short rust, right across the.
so the new line that ends at our old driveway spot. Where it's that little paved turnaround at our house.
Mhm.
That's where the line, the project that was done a few years ago.
Yeah.
ends right there.
I looked at their plans and tried to tie in exactly where they left off.
So
So
that
it
has-
should be new pipe or newer pipe to new.
That has 3 valves there now, is that right?
there's a valve for the hydrant. And I think there is a valve to shut going south and a valve to shut north.
3, but yeah.
Yeah,
So those will stay.
Yeah.
But.
I believe so.
Was
You're
that,
going off of them.
I believe so.
that was a 12-inch job, right, all the way up?
It was
So all
close.
of bridge, all of bridge would be 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. This is. When we put in when they did that job, they put in 2 new curb stops, at our house. One for an existing house, one for where all that rebar is on the hill.
Mhm.
And, it goes in through a utility bank over ledge and. Out of caution, even though I put blue board, over 3 sides of it, we did have it freeze up one year. So we now, when it gets really cold, if we think of it, we run water, it's been okay, but is there any other solution to that other than,
Your water service freezing, I mean, go deeper or heat trace it.
well, like, if we have one in that utility bank that runs up to the house. We have one 6-inch pipe. Is there any kind of insulation that we can put the water line and insulation and run that in the 6-inch conduit that runs into the
Yeah,
house?
they make like,
And you think that would,
They make PEX in a insulated, you can get them like,
yeah, you can get them either pre-made, so the insulation is actually made onto the pipe that you're using.
And then
Or
they
there
line
are
it.
some pipe wraps that you can put on and then snake through your 6-inch, or they make heat trace systems, which are like a little, you need electricity for it, but like a little
Yeah.
very low usage, 120 volt, just a heat trace tape kind of thing.
Yeah.
That you can turn on and off, so, I don't know exactly.
Those PEX insulated lines, a lot of the outside wood fire boilers run those.
Yeah.
They have, it's a 4-inch with a 1-inch on the inside and then filled with foam.
Right.
And it's all pre-made.
That's what we put in when we put our wood
Yeah.
boiler in.
Yep.
So even though we have a K copper standard, you don't have to carry the K copper all the way to the house?
I mean, the service line is yours. If you don't want it, I mean, we have HDP up on Jericho Road that's still in. You know, we had one of those spring a leak last year. There are a couple of PVC lines in there. So it's your line. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Okay.
I just need to know when we go to, now that we've done the service line inventory, I just need to know what material is.
Okay. Right.
Gary, I just have to, so if you put 20 units in, you'll have just one valve, one stop, curb stop, or do you think?
I would prefer to have the same number of curb stops as our units.
Okay, I mean, that's up
That's a
to
good
you,
idea.
but
But he's looking for the access now.
Right.
Instead of having to go back in 10 years or 5 years and dig up and put a splice in this line. Do it all at once and just leave the stub there for him.
So the stub would be like the 200, the 4-inch, and then off of that, you'd
Right.
have 20 different 3/4 inches.
Yep.
With each with their own curb stop,
That's good.
presumably all within the right of
Everyone wants
way.
their own curb stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
you
makes more sense.
run a 4-inch. Right down that and just split each unit. That's the best way to do it.
Well, would we, if we get in the weeds?
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, well, thank you for that.
So, yeah, I mean, if the sooner the better with your idea or your plan. So we could work it in.
Or even something close.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
if you think it's 20 and it ends up being 18, it doesn't. Move the needle,
Yeah.
you're still gonna have a 4-inch service.
Yeah.
If you go from 4 units to 20, that's,
Yeah,
it's better to go the other way,
Yeah.
but within reason, I mean, you just put it close and we'll be able to size it or see what we need for sizing.
so it probably makes sense. Well, I am working with an engineer to probably size it at least 4-inch, and then I know I'll never have to dig, no matter what happens.
Yeah, and your engineer should be sizing it for you because they need to do a state WW
Yeah.
permit and town allocation letters. Who are you working with?
I have 2 engineers I've been working with,
Okay,
and I'm getting prices for.
gotcha. Either one of them should be able to tell us what they need for gallons per day.
see, I saw the Nelmans on, but I think they're off now. I was gonna say, are there any other properties you wanted to look at, but I think these are the only 2 customers we have in attendance, unless do you want to get yours?
go back like at 122.
Yeah, right.
Oh, now I'll know where you live.
You know where Melissa.
She's not here.
Oh, right.
She's not here.
Wait, 22. There you are.
I live in the old.
So.
Yep.
So here's. Again, it's 2 or 3 feet off of the right of way line. I think this is it the steps there, the concrete steps that go up maybe? Or some kind of path that goes up, looks like, maybe a wall. And you got a 10 by 10.
No, you want,
That's, oh, I see, it's interesting.
Right, that's one.
Well, I show 122 back there. I'm just-
My computer shows the actual buildings a little
Yeah,
better
you
than
can see
Josh's.
the
If you wanna not over to him.
well, he should know what it looks like.
Well, no, but that's.
He doesn't live there.
That's right.
Melissa
He's
lives
allowed to live there, he said.
I live there rent free. It's pretty good.
She's not
Right in
listening.
Richmond, you got it.
She's not listening, is she?
That is weird, it looks like there's only like 114 and 122 kind of overlap.
Is it a duplex?
Just trying to figure
It
out.
was weird on the tax map
What?
how it showed, how it dropped in.
I don't know what the concrete is.
I'll have to check my survey notes. I'll show like a concrete sidewalk or brick sidewalk or something like that. It could have been a retaining wall.
Well, that's in front of 114, the Earls. They have concrete steps that,
Going to Google Maps.
Yeah, I just think if we can get a little bit better. Oh, that's not Tilden Ave.
That doesn't happen to be Richmond.
Full build out plan of Richmond.
Say that on a recorded meeting, Josh. Lightning rod.
That was a joke, that was a joke.
so that's the,
So I don't know what's down in here. Oh, there you go.
that is the Earls.
That's the Earl.
Okay.
We're to the left, that,
Okay.
yeah, the yellow.
You're,
So then let's get back to the. Where am I at with the, So that's the Earls. Oh, that's weird. Do we have these,
So maybe the concrete's in the wrong place?
I'll have to check. I don't know.
or is that,
Be easy to, cause if you,
well, do we have 102? I mean, I assume these are numbered. Huh,
I'll have to check the survey file. I don't know.
okay.
it,
But most of these,
where's the fire hydrant? That's in front
the
of
existing fire hydrant.
the existing one,
there's a fire hydrant right there.
yeah, so
Down at the end of Tilden.
Well, there's one at the end.
there's one in front of the.
back up.
houses.
There's one at the top. Or we're putting a new one at the top of Baker. Can't remember which one there now or not.
Anyway, we're closer to the fire hydrant,
The existing fire. hydrant.
yep, the existing fire hydrant.
Yeah,
So
Look
we're
a little-
between the concrete fixture and the fire hydrant. The fire hydrant's in front of the Chakowskis.
Okay.
So we got left out, maybe,
I'll have to check. I don't know.
Okay,
even though that lines up, we are,
so is 114 your neighbor?
yes.
That's the Earls,
Was
and then you're over here? Hard to tell where it's from this.
looking at that, we're to the left of them. I mean, the houses are about the same back off. See,
Yeah.
that's Earls, and then we're
I
the,
was trying
if you
to
go, where we, oh,
to get out of street view, but.
turn, you're down, there's.
you're down by their
Oh,
house.
my God.
Yeah. Go back up.
That,
trying to get-
yeah, that's Byard's.
Keep going, we're past the.
That's the
beehive,
apartment
A
building.
little bit, there's the Chakowskis, see, there's the fire hydrant, and that house is the
Oh.
Chakowskis, and we're the next ones,
And you're over here.
Yep.
And then,
That house.
right there,
That is,
Yeah.
that is
This is-
122.
and this is the
concrete.
concrete steps that were on
And-
here, so this is you.
This one.
Huh?
So you guys are this one.
No.
No, that's the Chakowskis,
But
so
this is-
we're, that's us, 122, but
No, but I don't know if this is one
Right.
twenty-two.
I wonder if I pulled it over. on the-
Because that's why I was trying to go back to street view to see the roof
Just-
line.
oh,
This has got that, how did I get back to street view?
I just pulled up Google Maps
Out of street view.
Hit the escape.
and it sort of looks like you don't exist, Morgan. Like there is on, which could be why it's weird on here, but like,
There's a,
yeah, you,
Two, something was weird on the tax map.
and there's the double roof line, right?
it's like they overlapped you on Google Maps.
Maybe your house is invisible. Only
Look at it on there.
Okay,
oh, I see our house right there.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it this one to the left?
But did they give it an address?
Oh, it's interesting, they put 138 on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is you at one, okay, so there,
That's us.
this is you at one, but they say
Yeah,
one
So Google
thirty-eight.
Maps is saying 138, 130 on your house.
And
But you're
so it's-
122.
We're 122, so.
That was yours,
Cause I got mine off the 911 address list, I believe.
huh?
is there a
Oh,
138?
The post office says we're at 122, so.
But it's
Is-
interesting.
I believe you.
Did you see?
So
When I go through this, I usually look at the 911 addresses
Right.
that are right on there, and I copied the 911
saying this
addresses
is
from the
the-
911 database. from the
Interesting.
plan.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't have
But
known
at 138.
that yours was wrong. If yours is wrong, 911 address
Are they?
database, we'll have to do.
Oh, I see, you're right, there's not even a 122 on here.
Perfectly.
It goes 102, 114, 130, 138.
Google, to be honest, Google does not have a lot of incentive to position the numbers exactly.
Tell you what.
I've seen the wrong numbers all.
If your house doesn't exist, you got some property tax.
I like that. So I can show you this.
This is my favorite feature of Google Maps.
Our water valve is about
For my coordinates every year.
maybe 5 feet off the edge of the.
Now that's that, that
Yeah.
makes it easier not to get lost.
That was common on most of them on Tilden. Tilden's got an unusual,
Tilden's a narrow right away.
the normal for towns is 3 rod, which is 49.5 feet. And that's, I'm gonna say 98% of town roads have 49.5 feet right away. Tilden, I can't remember if it's 2 or 2.5.
I think it's 2.5.
I think it's 2.5.
Oh,
So it's a very unusual, so I think what happened is back in whenever they're putting these in, most people assume that the curb stop should be at a certain distance from the center line of road, which is why all of them are slightly, or most of them are slightly beyond. So if they assumed it was a 3 rod and it's actually a 2.5 rod, so it's actually a slightly narrower right away than 99% of other.
Interesting.
There's a couple, I've seen a couple around, it's not the only one I've seen, but it's very uncommon.
Most of those houses were put in around 1905 to 1910, I think.
Yeah.
They were all.
And the only other times I've seen is old village houses.
Yeah, and those roads were originally private roads, I think, with the underwear factory. Were they not?
It could have been, I don't know.
I think the underwear factory like owned all of that, right?
Yeah,
I believe so, so it was,
Yeah.
yeah, it's, so I think
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why there's so many easements needed for Tilden,
Yeah.
specifically because it is a narrow right in most town roads.
So that's how that would, because it would have been right on the edge of that right away, but it's, okay.
Yeah, I have old postcards that show no houses.
Oh, really?
And then,
Looking down Tilden.
yeah.
Nothing.
yeah, and then when you're on Millet, looking up the hill,
Right.
nothing, just land.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that was a cow pasture, right?
Yeah.
Between us and, transport.
We have lots of pictures of the farm like that too, and it just goes forever with nothing, no.
No chipmunks even.
But
No?
anyway,
Let me do some digging, and I'll send you,
I mean, I can remember when you
I'll
could
send
come
you the
out the
911
back of
address,
the
that
Catholic
base.
church and go right
where I
on.
got it, cause it's real strange. There's a couple on there that were kind of strange,
there's
that kind of like
traffic now.
box.
Well, it went right to the
Do you think that's
cemetery.
gonna have any ripple effects to numbers of other houses?
I'll have to check it out.
We'll have to go through.
I like, I mean, I went off the 9.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it shouldn't matter with the easements, cause the easements have the address. It's just the plans need to get adjusted.
One thing I just noticed is
Well, it might actually, right?
I took the Google Maps to the farm and all the buildings at the farm have an address. But like they're all on the same night address
This thing-
as the house address, but like the little barn that we parked the lawnmower in is called 405.
You never knew that.
But is it, but is
So
that,
I don't know if maybe
that
it
on-
messed your numbers up.
is that for a 911 response?
And I don't know if
No.
911 matches up with Google Maps.
Yeah, and I don't.
I think Google Maps might be numbering things the way they want to.
I mean, Lot 911 has their own.
but the question is, do we need to do research and make sure that 911 is lining up with the street addresses?
You're gonna take this.
Yeah, I'll look at that. I mean, I've always used 911 addresses and I don't know that I remember having a problem before, but obviously we got one now.
Well, Tilden, I remember a story Bart told a couple of years ago where there was a surveyor walking up and down Tilden Ave. And Bart goes out to talk to him and he kid looking really quizzical and he goes, well, what's wrong? He goes, not enough room on this street for all these houses.
Yeah.
Because of the way it was all lined up, yeah. So like they're all there, maybe they're all. there.
Property, I don't know if somebody would end up
Yeah,
with property. But houses on,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
somebody else's.
So without the survey, like right in the middle of this, halfway down the street that way, you might still have a little something left when you get to the.
Yeah, it seems like, I think it's a common problem with the village, and especially if you go back to like the underwear factory owned all that. And then who knows when that changed over and if it ever really got surveyed in the early 1900s, like, I don't know.
I remember David Sunshine saying one time, if every property in the village got surveyed, somebody's screwed.
Yeah, I would believe that.
Somebody's gonna be upset.
All right, well, I'm glad we found that out before that's far down the road.
Yes, we'll sign the easement to send it on.
Melissa was like.
Melissa will say
Yeah.
it.
That's right. I take that back.
All right. So I don't know if there's, I mean, we kind of covered opportunity for private homeowners to contract separately already.
Yep.
I don't know if there's any other specific questions.
Yeah, I don't,
Can I go just a little off topic?
Sure.
Just a little. Water pressure at our place 202. This is wild. I mean, you're just running one, so you're running the lavatory from.
Yep.
Faucet in the lavatory, and you flush the toilet, it's just like.
And it's never been like that.
never-
Have you had your,
You too?
have you had your pressure reducing valve checked?
We had a new, valve set up. And the new meter.
But
Put it
you
in.
guys
No,
did.
we put the meters in, but there's a pressure reducing valve that is your responsibility.
Okay.
Um,
Not familiar with that,
And it should be just past the meter.
yeah,
I can
Um,
show you later too. We had to replace ours once they did it.
okay.
Yeah, if they're over, what, 15 years?
yeah, they're basically,
It's
it's
a
a spring
spring.
in there.
Yep.
And it loses its tension over time.
They can get gunked up and stuck and sometimes you can just adjust them and it'll break it
Sometimes
loose,
you
but
get a plumber to take them apart and clean them, put them back together and
I'll do that.
they'll work, they'll work. But, yeah,
So that's most likely the.
anybody who I mean, we're running 100 PSI right now. I know it's 100 PSI coming
Yeah.
out of the pump.
Okay, so it sounds like it's
Yeah.
inside out.
And most people who complain about pressure problems, I have them get their VRV checked
Mhm.
and I don't hear back from them.
Okay, well, good, I'll take a
Is
look at that.
I played with ours up and down and the same thing, you're right. Somebody was taking a shower downstairs, and it was trickling upstairs.
Right, I forgot that you had problems.
And I messed with it, and then finally we had, we did some, with the shower, the plumber came back, he looked at it, he said, I guarantee if I replace it, it'll fix it. Sure enough, it's. Same.
Erin's got her hand up.
The whole house.
Oh, good, good.
Josh.
Oh.
Erin, you're on mute. There you go.
Hey, I just wanted to ask about this, this project skips Thompson Road and Farr Road and Huntington. And that is confirmed because those areas were already done previously?
Thompson and Farr are fairly new. The only section that, then I was not aware that it wasn't included is Huntington, yes. And that is now on my priority list to start in.
Gotcha, thanks.
And just to follow up, when did we replace Baker and Millet?
I did I did half it. Mike Wazo did the first half. And I did the second half probably in 2019.
Yeah, that
That's
sounds
all.
right.
That sounds right.
For Baker.
Going from the
Millet
mid
was,
part of Baker to Tilden, I think was probably 2019. I did that one. Millet I didn't do. The bottom part of Baker I didn't do.
no, Millet was done when Pete did the storm drain down through there.
That's when they redid the culvert and then they're coming down.
Yeah, when that was done.
Surprised they didn't do Tilden at the same time, I mean,
And, okay. All right. No more questions? No more.
Yeah, we can
questions?
hang out here if you're lonely.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Well, Morgan can't find his home. That's
I have to go back and find my, Melissa's house.
House in Harry Potter where they all hide out.
That's right.
Back.
She's gonna be very angry he lost her house.
There's like that little tent, you walk inside the tent, and then there's like a 3-story house.
Well, you're safe from Baltimore, people will never find you there.
Manage there, so, okay. Well, if there are no other questions or discussions,
Move to adjourn.
may I have a second?
I will second that motion.
Hey, please state how you want to vote.
Aaron, I, yay.
Hmm.
And Morgan, aye. We are now adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys.
I had to think about it.